Hello, retail traders. I want to talk about Tesla Friday and about this coming week, what I predict, or at least my predictions. This is a sneaky snake trading strategy where we study chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So we got earnings coming out on the 19th for Tesla, and I'm just excited just to hear them, watch them maybe pull it back or just go ahead and take off and break out. But I think we're in the pullback mood. And but last Friday, this was such a great trade. Charts have been real easy to call out here lately, especially if you know what a triple bottom is, or if you know what a inverse head and shoulders is, or three black crows for scalping on the 1 minute time frame, or even on the 1 hour time frame, or even for that sake for swinging it on a daily. But this is Tesla yesterday. I was just calling this thing out right and left. We had a bunch of head and shoulders on it and triple bottoms and great ideas to take an exit and really good ideas on when to exit is what I'm trying to say, and when good and great ideas on taking entry, especially here at open. Called this first thing right at open. Then I called this trade out, called this trade out, called this trade out, called this trade out. There was a bunch of them I called out, even the highs, and we're going to show you reasons why we took some of these trades. Especially this one right here was really a good one to call. After we called this one, the ones that people miss, the beach trade, we're able to get in it at the same price or even a little bit cheaper for the second time up. And that was an easy call because I'll show you why that was an easy call, and we'll go straight to the charts. First, we'll go straight to the news. Last week, the biggest news on Tesla was the Cybertruck production. So they rolled off the first Cybertruck, and Elon drew that around a little bit. And a lot of companies compare Tesla as a car company. They need to understand that it's just more than a car company. It's a tech company. It's a tech company. It's AI. I mean, it mentioned AI way before these other fellers started getting excited about it. So there's a lot going on. He's a leader, and he's been shown throughout the sales throughout the whole wide world. Tesla last week was number one used EV car sales. Then it was the week before. It was all about about hooking up the charging stations. This coming week, it's going to be all about earnings. Last week was about the Cybertruck, and then this week here they're going to be talking about earnings. Is it worthy? Now the bear case is the fact that they cut their prices down. They think that's the bear case that Tesla's going to drop, and that could be a good reason for it to drop, but it's also a good reason for a buying opportunity if it does drop, because I'm a bull. The bullish case is that it's the number one car company. It's not a car company, it's a tech company. You ain't seen nothing yet. They rolled the Cybertruck off. They're building plants here and there and everywhere. They got to deal with India, maybe. So yeah, there's a lot building up the least expensive one, and that was in the news. That was running. That's why I took the trade last week. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm definitely a bull on Tesla. So let's look at the chart. Kind of want to call out what happened Friday. We're going to turn this up to 1 minute. This was a very beautiful trade. So let's look at what happened, why I called this thing out. For one, you had a triple bottom right at open. 1, 2, and 3. That support level was off of an inverse head and shoulders. We'll draw that up on the 5 minute. That's right here. We'll draw that trend line. So this is going to be like the major catalyst for today. The bottom right here is the left shoulder, and then that's the right shoulder. So we'll take it right here, left shoulder. We'll draw that trend line on there, and there's the right shoulder. And there's your head. So that's called an inverse head and shoulders right out of the gate this morning. Resistance to break would take a trend line, run it from the top of right here to that next candle, and extend that to the right. Boom. So that created a head and shoulders right there for the pullback. So right it open, once it broke that trend line, that's called a triple top head and shoulders. Once it broke that shoulder line, boom, she was off to the races. And the exit idea for that trade, if you go back and look at the 5-minute, 5-day, I thought I had that on here, 15-minute. You got a double top right here. So you take and run a trend line. To the body of that candle, to the body of that one, and it extends it out to the right. So we're going to do that. But I'm just going to extend it out for us. To the body of this candle right here, that's where I'm going to measure it off of. Boom. So that's your exit idea. And that was on the 15-minute time frame. And that's two big engulfing candles. So there's your confirmation to get out of that trade. And that would have been your beach trade, and you'd have been in and out of there within 30 minutes off to the beach, done for the day. So we take it back to the 1 minute now. We found our exit idea, and she pulled right back again to that shoulder line of this head and shoulders, which would have been another great trade. So again, we took it again. We exited the idea of the triple top. We got back in on the shoulder line and run it back up. So we could extend this on out to the right, or we could draw a trend line from right here to this candle right here and extend that out to the right and call that a triple top right there and get out of that trade and be out of here and off to the beach. Or you know that the momentum is behind it now, and it did pull back. They always like to retest when they hit a resistance, and then it came up again and retested that top and broke out. So once it broke out of that top, this triple top, it retested and gained support off of that triple top. So that's telling you that this stock is very strong, and that would have kept you in the trade. And then you could have run it all the way up to wherever you want. But Jim, where's the exit? So you want to take it to the 1 hour, and you see a triple top right here. 1, 2, and you want to draw a trend line all the way across. I'll show you two ideas here. You want to run a price line off the top of that there top, and when she did that, you seen that it was a double top off that wick, which that would have been your exit idea to hit that resistance on that triple top. And you could have got out of that trade. And that would have brought you up almost to that head and shoulders right here, to that shoulder line at 283. So you could have ended up taking this trade once you already done your beach trade. You had evidence that this trade was going to keep on going up higher, 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 and higher. And then you had your exit idea on that triple top on that time frame. You pill around here on that 1 hour time frame. That you'd have definitely, I would have, because I know triple tops are resistant levels that are real hard to break. And if you're closing into the day or the middle of the day and it's Friday, man, take that profit and run, especially after a good 3-4 day run, 3-day run, and you hit a triple top on a 20-day 1 hour. So here's a head and shoulders right here that I called out. They're just all over. Just fall in love with them inverse head and shoulders. There's the body of that candle right there, all the way across. Boom, she breaks out. You could run this real nice head and shoulders right here. So that's it. What's going to happen next week? Let's erase everything here. Let's go over this one more time. And then at the end of the day, so you got your exit idea right here. You could have bought the put. You seen the lower high. You could have took this back down. But here's another inverse head and shoulders right here. You could have took this trade. At the end of the day, power hour, it came down and sold real hard, stopped, came back up. So there's your snake. And what I call a snake, that's why I named this strategy, is the snake, is the sell-off. And we're going to run it right down here. We're going to take it from this here candle. Run to, shoot, I don't want to do that either. I want to make it full. Once you've seen it breaking out of that snake, and then pull back and start to create a pattern, see, that's an inverse head and shoulders. That gave you plenty of time to take this trade off that right shoulder, or even off the triple top. This is ready into close. Whoop, I didn't do that right. Use that body of that candle right there to the body of this next candle right here. Then that's your triple top break. 1, 2, and 3. Then she came back and respected that triple top. Boom! Right into close off the 200. So that's the symmetrical flag. See? You have a head and shoulders, and then it created that symmetrical flag. Came back and boom, squeezed right out of it. Right into close. Snake, breakout, pull back, boom. So that's going to be this video, and then we're going to talk about last Friday, which was just respectfully a great trade. We're going to clear this set up. We're going to pull this up to the daily. First, we're going to pull it up to the weekly. What we have here on the weekly is resistance right here. And you can just go ahead and draw a trend line all the way across that. So that would be like a real hard resistance to break. You found support right here. You have a gap breakout right here. You have support. You have a head and shoulders right here. And then you have the shoulder line right here. You have triple top all the way across. So yeah, that's going to be a hard resistance to break. That 304. If she decides to go ahead and run off and not really care about earnings, or if earnings are going to affect it, we could hit the bottom of this gap right here on the weekly. So we're going to put a little price line right in there. And that's true too, because then you got support right here. You got resistance right here. You have support right there. You have support, resistance right there. You have a gap, support. So that's real strong. That could hold. And that's going to be right at 261.60. So we're going to change this to the yearly now and look and see what it says to us on the year. We've established a pivot point here inside of this here wedge. I mean, not a wedge, but a megaphone pattern. We have a resistance also that we hit last week, and we're going to draw that all the way across. Now this here's the high. We're talking about a resistance channel between 304 and this other one's going to be right here at 311.54. If we get 311.54 and break that, we can go a lot higher. But that's going to be hard to do. The hard resistance this week, the one that we're going to really count on, is going to be this right here. right at 282.48, and we closed at 281.38. The lowest possible pivot point inside of this here channel is going to be this here previous high. And that's going to be right at 275.35. Now the lowest possible support is going to be the bottom right here, and we want that to hold at 268.40. And we're going to put that red line on that one right there, because that's going to be our lowest possible support unless we start to get very bearish. That way it keeps it above the 21 SMA, which it did right here, and bounced right above it. So that would be totally respecting the 21. Now this is off earnings. This could dip right when earnings hit and have a sharp knife, or it could go ahead and just say, what the heck, break out to that 300, 304 area. So we're going to bring this now. We have established our lowest support at 268.40, and we established our breakout point at 282.48 with a pivot point which would keep it bullish into next week at 275.35. So a knife off of earnings at 268.40. Keep it respectfully bullish next week at 275.35, and the break of resistance at 282.48. And I think that's really about all I need to say about it. We can get the next resistance at 283.96, and then if it does break this area up in here, it would have to be this number right here. At 285.11, we'll ship this off to 300. Looking pretty good though. Now I like to use, when I'm scalping, I like to use this here 200 SMA for a support and a resistance level on the 1 minute time frame. So let's bring this back to the 20-day 1 hour. The three resistance levels is going to be 282.48, 283.96, and then 285.12, and if that breaks, we'll definitely shoot off to that 300. To gain respect after earnings, if we see 275, a pullback to 275.35, that keeps it bullish. And if we see 268.40, that'll be a strong buy at a triple bottom off the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. So keep that 200 SMA in mind. And that's it. So I'm going to be bullish on the dip. And if it breaks out past that 285.12, we might see it go higher and build momentum. And earnings is going to be out on the 19th. And I wish everybody the best on this trade. And I'll definitely be watching it, see if it pulls back at open for a bounce play. Like I was talking about earlier, we had a wonderful Friday with it. And just looks real pretty. I mean, it really does. We got the flag right here, you know. This thing can run, if it decides to really break out, you could take this flag. What's going on here? Hit it on the body of that candle right there and take it to the right. And here's your other component right down here. So you got an upward wedge too, which is a bearish flag. But we're going right into earnings, which is another reason why I think we could have a sharp little pullback to support right here. Or we could hit that breakout resistance right around 288, 290 off this here triple top. Now this is on the daily time frame. You can do this up yourself and draw that wedge in and use that as a reference for resistance and use this as a reference for support. Because see how it's held that support level for 4 days in a row. Boom, 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 and boom. 5 all week long. It respected and made that support level. So it's very important that it holds that 9 that 9, like it did right here, 9 EMA on the daily. So there's a lot of things. If you sit back and study a chart, you can learn a lot about it. That's it. The sneaky snake trading strategy. Tesla. I do these updates every week, so hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Sneaky snake trading strategy. And have a great day.